Look and see what's going on. There we go. We should be able to hear me now, fam. Sorry about that. Changed the damn setting on me all on its own. Yeah, I wasn't muted, fam. I actually have a mixer that my mic is connected to. It has its own manual mute, right? So whenever I start a broadcast, I just simply disengage that. But in the program that I use to broadcast you, if I don't have everything set just so there, then we got a problem. By the way, fam, you know what time it is. Welcome to Sucka-Free Saturday. Welcome to the broadcast. It is good to see you all. I have missed you. I hope you all are doing well. Today we get to take a little bit of a break, right? Because the last broadcast discussing economics was kind of heavy, and I hope that y'all chewed on that broadcast. I know I did. I actually have an admission to make before we get into it, just a little personal aside. A lot of people don't know this, but I rewatch every broadcast I do on the live stream. And I know what you're thinking. Why is that? Why would you rewatch yourself? Like, how narcissistic is that? No, fam. The reason why I rewatch it is simple. Because there are things that come out during the broadcast through our interplay with each other via the chat, via the phone calls, and so on and so forth, that actually I learn from. And while I'm kind of in the midst of it, I don't get the full juice, the full expression of it. So no matter how long the broadcast is, every single one, every week, I watch them and sometimes rewatch them so that I'm better able to communicate to you what it is that I want to communicate to you, and also better able to receive from you what it is that you offer me. And last week's broadcast, fam, was one of the best ones I feel like I've ever done. Not because of anything in particular that I said, but because of the clear connection for all of us. I could see that reflected in the chat. I could see that reflected in the questions. I could see that reflected in everything. It was like a key that unlocked the door for many of us. So if you haven't watched last week's broadcast, I would strongly encourage you to go do so. It is by far me distilling 48 years of understanding this shit, of dealing with it, studying it, practicing it, living it, down into one little broadcast when it comes to economics. So I hope you guys enjoyed that, and it looks like many of you did. So fam, with that said, again, welcome to all. Make sure you look at the links in the description field below, right? Lots of links to information. By the way, I don't know if you guys knew this, but the links to the books there, and if you have any books that you suggest that you want to see offered to the Black Sheep community, shoot me an email at blackoutcastmedia@gmail.com, and I'll add a link to it. When you click those links down there and purchase a book, it helps support me too. So I didn't know if you knew that. I don't even usually tend to mention it, but if you're looking for a copy of one of these books, click the links there and help a brother out. Also get yourself some information. And if you haven't considered doing so and you find my work to be salient, something that you believe in, that you support, there's multiple ways to be able to support me. There's my Cash App, there's PayPal, or you can become a supporting member of the channel, whichever way works for you. Again, it's up to you. I'm going to continue to do the work regardless of whether you give me anything or not. But a brother has a powerful need to eat sometime this month, and you can help contribute to that. So let me go ahead and issue the greetings here. Brother Lionel was definitely one of the first ones in the house. Brother Lionel, I see you, fam. Welcome to the broadcast. Dark Child is in the house. Plurality of one. I love that name. In the house. John, namaste, brother. I see you. My man Jason Argonate, Darker Visions is in the house. Sister Divine Eyes is in the house. Code Ref is in the house. Engaging Black, fam. What it do? Hey. Let's see here. Yep, I love my wife is in the house. Welcome to the broadcast, fam. Sister Lisa is in the house. My beloved sister, Miss Kawami. Mwah. Welcome to the broadcast. Fam, we're going to get to take a little bit of a break today. right? Because today we are going to talk about entertainment, the second area of human activity. And yes, thank you. Thank you, fam. I appreciate that engagement. Black, I'm going to let your comment read out. But entertainment is interesting. Emmanuel, by the way, I know you asked a question, Emmanuel, during one of my broadcasts, and because of the flow and the way things were engaged or whatever the case may be, I wasn't able to address it. I meant no disrespect, Emmanuel. So if you have a question or whatever the case may be, pop it in the chat and I'll make sure to definitely address it. Because I appreciate you been really patient, and sometimes just because of the flow, interplay.
Happy Born Black History Month, fam.
Thank you, fam. You make sure to ask, Emmanuel, and I appreciate you. Yeah, hey, I use YouTube Premium too. I hate them damn ads, right? So, you know what I'm saying? But today we're going to talk about entertainment. And this one for me, believe it or not, fam, it's probably been one of the hardest ones to be able to address with you. And I'll explain very simply why that is. I too, like all the rest of you, love entertainment. But many of the things that I find entertaining, many other people do not, right? And I never realized before, really up until today, when I was about to broadcast on some of this stuff and was having a conversation with my missus, just really what... Peace, Onyx. Welcome to the broadcast, fam. Brother Black Man, I see you, fam. What it do? Welcome to the broadcast. Even up until today, I'm still learning and understanding what entertainment is, not just for me, but what I think entertainment is going to be for our people, or at least what I think it should be for our people. Because the purpose of these broadcasts, fam, is not to elaborate on problems or issues, but to actually give us things that we can use, right? Solutions to information that we, the Black American descendants of chattel slavery, can use for our collective betterment, right? Yeah, fam, I'm loving the snow. As a matter of fact, if I got any energy left in me after this broadcast, I'm going out and make a snowman. I at least got to check the snow, make sure it's right, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm going to lie, I love me some snow, and we don't get it enough up here in the Pacific Northwest. So today, fam, we're going to discuss entertainment. Now, for many of us, fam, entertainment seems to be a very simple thing, right? We watch a program, or grab a board game, get a deck of cards, pick up a ball, right? We don't tend to think about the purpose of entertainment in our lives. We just simply participate in it, right? By the way, shout out to Sister Sherry. Welcome to the broadcast, sis. I see you. We don't tend to really engage with what is entertainment. What is the purpose of entertainment? Why do we seek entertainment? But fam, I'm going to share with you some insights that I've had about entertainment. And I'm also, when I open up the line, I want to hear from you guys too about the purpose entertainment has served for you, and whether or not these insights will help you moving forward, not just as an individual, but understanding us as a collective, us as a tribe, the purpose and role of entertainment. When you look back, fam, all throughout human history, you see entertainment. You see all sorts of entertainment. There's, dancing, and there's singing, and there's storytelling, and things like that, right? And one of the main purposes of entertainment is actually kind of tied into other areas of human activity, such as education, religion, and so on and so forth, right? Entertainment is a way of us being able to kind of move our conscious mind out of the way and be exposed to various abstract ideas that we then intuit. We deduce things about human nature, about reality, and so on and so forth from that interaction, right? I'll give you a case in point, fam. When you're watching a movie, right? One of the things that's most important to many of us when we watch movies is what I have referred to and other people have referred to as the suspension of disbelief, right? Because entertainment is a really strange animal. On one hand, entertainment is the deliberate use of illusion, constructs, right? We know that most times entertainment isn't a direct reflection of reality, right? When you watch a movie or when you watch a TV show or when you go to a play, when you hear a song played, right? And so on and so forth, you hear somebody singing. Oftentimes, they're not necessarily giving you any information about reality at that point in time, right? Nobody's singing a song about what's happening in the booth as they're singing a song, right?
Entertainment is used to reinforce social norms.
Yeah, and you know what? And we're going to get to that because there's an element of that, right, in entertainment. Entertainment is a way of kind of bypassing the conscious mind because good entertainment encourages the suspension of disbelief. Entertainment is kind of designed to bypass your critical thinking, which is why entertainment seems to kind of be all over the place, because entertainment in one sense is as individual as the person that is engaged in it, both the person that's producing the entertainment as well as the ones who are consuming it, right? Entertainment has elements of propaganda, elements of education, elements of just flat out illusion. And all the best entertainment, fam, works to have you move your mind out of the way, suspend your disbelief. You actually engage with your entertainment as if it's real. I'll give you a case in point. How many of y'all play sports? Pop a one in the chat if you play sports. You can even put your type of sport. Like, what's your thing? Is it basketball, volleyball, tennis, track and field? Whatever sport you play, highlight your sport right now. Or even if you don't play, if you have a particular sport you're interested in, this is for all you NFL nuts, and so on and so forth. What's your sport? Go ahead and pop it into the chat, fam, right? There's a reason why I want you to highlight your particular sport or the sports that you enjoy, the sports that you love, right? Plurality of one said, I like humiliating conservatives. That is fine sport, but I would argue that humiliating liberals is much more fun, right? Black man, I know he loves his football. I as you many of you know,
I am very selective when I entertain these days.
We're going to get to that too, engaging black. Softball is a sport. Sister Kwame, softball is a sport. Brother Ibrahim, welcome to the broadcast. He's a baller. He's a basketballer. That's what's up. Track and field, great sport. I used to actually run the 50 and 100 meter dash in high school and throw shot put. Love track and field. Oh, Sister Sherry, I thought I was the only one who loved to watch curling. That's a crazy sport too. It's actually exciting. Emmanuel works out. Got to get his swole on. I hear you, Emmanuel. Onyx. He likes his boxing, football, right? Got you. Get b-ball. Okay. Fam, what is sport? See, fam, The crazy part is we don't even think about any of these things. What is sport? Sport, legit, like seriously, is the creation of an artificial set of rules, an artificial reality that we both or all of us who play the sport agree to abide by in order to attain an artificial goal. Whether it's actual putting the ball through the hoop or kicking the ball through the uprights or, getting the curling stone into the center circle and so on and so forth. Everything that surrounds entertainment involves an element of construction. We build entertainment, fam. One of the first things that I want to leave with y'all today, if you take nothing else from this broadcast, is that entertainment, like everything else that human beings do, is a transactional thing. It is reciprocal in nature. There are two parts to entertainment. There is the person that produces or the persons that produce the entertainment and the ones that consume it. And both have a share in whether or not entertainment occurs. Now, if you do start to think about entertainment, fam, one of the first questions you ask is, well, why do we even care so much about entertainment in the first place, right? Why does entertainment tend to take the type of forms that it does, right? Whether it's sport or art or something like that. As I pondered on this over the years, fam, the one thing that I came to understand is that just like every other thing that we do that is technological in nature, entertainment too is a tool that's utilized by humans to take what appears to be completely chaotic and put order upon it, right? Entertainment allows us to snatch patterns from our environment that help us to make sense of shit. And it is such a drive in human beings to do this that without entertainment, we would likely go insane. When we are in environments or in places where we cannot enjoy, because that word is important, that word is actually key to entertainment. When we are in some place where we cannot enjoy something, right? Where we can't embody joy in ourselves, in our minds, in our bodies, we go nuts. Such a key drive has to have something that supports it, something that makes it likely that we will pursue it and that we will become better and better at doing it. Great documentary, by the way, Sister Sherry. The Century of Self is an important documentary. If you've not seen it, there's a link in the chat. After this broadcast, go check it out. It's well worth it. Fam, I want to take a side a bit. And I want to talk a bit about art, right? Because I don't know about many of you, but I'm 48. And I remember when I was in school, they actually had art and shit like that in school, right? I took instruments when I was in school. I played the snare drum. I played the trumpet / cornet. I participated in a lot of different arts in school. I was in wood shop or carpentry shop. Did that, enjoyed the hell out of that. I even took home ec, right? Which one could consider an art, right? The art of home economics. Right? Home ec was great. First of all, it encompasses all the shit your man Mark Black still does today. In home ec, I learned recipes and how to develop recipes. I learned how to sew. I learned how to manage a household budget and all sorts of cool shit. And you think, ain't home ec for girls? No, fam. We had plenty of dudes in home ec. and it was a great class. But when you think about the purpose of art, what comes to mind for you, right? Family, give me some answers. When you think about art, what purpose does it seem like art serves for you? Right? When you look at a painting or you see a sculpture or you mess around with some damn Play-Doh, right? You build a snowman. What purpose does art usually have for you? What is it? One of the first things that you kind of engage when you start looking at art. So Brother Lionel said art is an expression of a person and or community. I would absolutely agree. Matter of fact, I would argue art is probably one of our greatest expressions, right? Brother Ibrahim said imagination, creativity. I got you on that one, right? So when you start looking at art, when you engage, played up both, plurality, both, relatability, right? Can I vibe with this art? Like, does this art really speak to me? Or, you know what I'm saying, right? So relatability, all of these things, fam, come down from one key thing. We look at art with our aesthetic, right? Our aesthetic sense of beauty, right? When you see a painting like Starry Night by Van Gogh, and you see the interplay of the dark sky and the swirly stars over a landscape, and you're looking at the perspective, right? You know, the depth of the image, right? You and many others might look at that painting and say, wow, that painting is beautiful, right? Onyx said Tai Chi Chuan, right? For those of you who are unfamiliar, Tai Chi Chuan is an internal Chinese martial art. It's passed down for years that involves very flowing movements and sort of a meditative mindset. And it is an art. And when you see someone who is a skilled practitioner of Tai Chi in their movements, no matter how old they are, there's a certain beauty in those movements. Fam, what if I told you that beauty is related to our search for truth? Would that make any sense to you? Shout out to my man Double C's, by the way. Welcome to the broadcast, fam. What if I told you that this aesthetic value you find in art, this sense of beauty, is also related to the discovering of what's true and not true? How many of y'all does that make sense to? Because if it doesn't, no shame, no judgment. I'm here to actually help you clarify it, right? How many of you, when you see beauty, think of beauty as truth? Because look at what we're told about beauty in our society, right? We're told that beauty is in the eye of the beholder, that beauty is subjective. And those things are true. What one person or multiple people might find beautiful, others may not. And what we find beautiful or even enjoyable can sometimes be downright deleterious. You gotta love the Germans, family, for their compound words, because they have a word that describes the feeling of pleasure and enjoyment one gets in the suffering of someone else. The word is called Schadenfreude, right? To experience Schadenfreude is to see hurt, suffering, pain of someone else and derive enjoyment from that. Now, I'm not here to make a moral judgment about Schadenfreude, but to point you into a direction. When we find something enjoyable, when we find something beautiful, we also tend to make truth claims about it. When you say something is beautiful, sure, is that subjective? Yeah, it is. It's based off of your perception. But the determination, the classification of something beautiful is not just a value judgment. It's a truth claim. There is a clear correlation between what we find beautiful and what we ultimately determine or learn or think or consider to be true. For those of you who are math nuts out there, right, which is not your boy, math is one of my weakest subjects, even though I love math, which is strange. But for all you math nuts out there, have you ever looked at an equation and just said, damn? Like, you ever look at Dirac's equations or Einstein's equations or, Schrodinger's equations, and your mind just simply goes boom, right? From the beauty contained within those equations. How many of you have ever heard a mathematician describe formula as beautiful? Some of the greatest scientific discoveries that we've seen in modern times came from the contemplation of the beauty of symmetry within various mathematical disciplines. Believe it or not, you would never have thought that a mathematician was an aesthete, a lover of beauty. And in seeing what is beautiful in the math is being guided towards what is true in the math. They're looking at symmetries. They're looking at reductions, simplifying these long, complicated equations and turning them into something rich, pure, and simple. Like, energy is equal to mass times the square of the speed of light. E equals mc squared. Equations this damn big. But its profundity, fam, in an equation that big is mind-boggling. You could literally build an entire career plumbing the profundity, the beauty in that single equation, and it would not be a life wasted. Art is very much the same, right? Art leads us to beauty, but beauty tends to point us towards things that we find true. Because art and entertainment uses constructs, these artificial external constructs, in order to communicate abstractions. Onyx said, math formulas were taught to me by my grandfather. He said, approach them like cooking recipes that you can read. He said, math is the language of the universe. That is absolutely right. Absolutely right. Mathematicians will tell you that the more they plumb the depths of math, the more connected they feel to the universe. Plurality of one mentions archetypes, right? Archetypes is Jungian psychology. Jung argued that there are certain ideas that continue to resonate within the collective psyche of human beings because these images allow us to be able to communicate abstract ideas across time. When you watch, say, a Tyler Perry joint, and you see all the drama and this person's relationship fucked up, and this person cheated on that person, and this person was cruel to this person, and, you know, families being torn apart, and betrayals, and this, that, and the third. And then, of course, there's the redemption arcs and all this and that, right? When you watch this, you call it entertainment. You say it's funny, or it's oh man, that was crazy shit, right? But what you don't realize is that there is no measurement for betrayal, right? You can't measure out betrayal. You can't shape love, right? Like, you can't make love in clay, or can you? Through the use of art and entertainment, fam, we actually are able to communicate love. We're actually able to communicate pain. We're actually able to communicate joy. We are then able to enjoy that which entertains us, fam. We're able to then enjoy it. We take the joy emulated in the art, right? When you saw Michael Jordan the first time go from the free throw line, soaring through the air, like gravity didn't even work no motherfucking more. And he slams that ball into that hoop. Wham! Fam, what was communicated to you at that moment? Jordan wasn't talking. He didn't say anything. But there was a moment where there was a communion between you and Michael Jordan. He was communicating something to you in this amazing physical display of prowess. This beautiful truth. The first time you saw your favorite movie, you feel me? That movie that even if you're embarrassed to tell anybody you love, you could watch that movie 50 times back to back to back and see something new every single time you watch that movie. But the very first time you watched that movie, nobody could even tell you that wasn't happening, that it wasn't real. Because while they were telling the story, you were living it. You suspended your disbelief. You suspended the idea that it wasn't real, right? Black man said The Godfather. Facts, right? There was a communication of beauty, even in the greatest tragedy, which is why I said I'm not here to make a moral judgment about Schadenfreude, because yes, fam, there can be beauty, i.e. truth, even in the most horrible tragedies that you see on a screen. I used to be a big Shakespeare head. I've been reading Shakespeare, fam, since I was 4, maybe 5 years old. I remember the first play I read Julius Caesar. I've actually gone to see performances of Shakespeare's plays live. Last one I went to go see was King Lear in Seattle. Great performance. They had a great group of actors that put on a performance of King Lear. And fam, let me tell you, you want to talk about ghetto shit? Man, Shakespeare was the original Tyler Perry. This motherfucker had everything. Lies, betrayal, bullshit. You name it. Shakespeare was notorious for it. But even in the worst tragedies of Shakespeare's plays, When it was over, you got up in applause. You left in sheer rapture. You just watched, you just watched King Lear be betrayed. You just watched Julius Caesar be betrayed by Brutus. But the reality of that didn't matter, right? You were able to intuit, to deduce some truths, distill some wisdom from that play. And thus it was beautiful. It was beautiful. Othello is amazing. I love Othello. One of my favorites, right? Fam, entertainment, enjoyment has actually a purpose for us as human beings. This is where we get to the point in the broadcast today where I'm going to talk about practicals, where I'm going to talk about why we actually need to understand and live entertainment consciously. We, as the descendants of chattel slavery, tend to live our lives very unexamined. I'm not indicting you. I'm not indicting myself. This is just a statement of fact. When you're in survival mode, it's very difficult to be, contemplative, right? To actually examine and live your life in a conscious fashion. But I will charge you all today and moving forward that the only way out of the bind that we find ourselves in with the racists and the white supremacists is to start looking at everything we do through a lens of consciousness. I'm not talking about that Hotep consciousness either, where you decalcified your pineal gland and you window washed your third eye and all of those bullshit. No. What I mean is much more mundane and at the same time much more profound. What I mean is to open your eyes, to open your ears, and to pay attention. Ask why. In everything. It is a must. It is a must. There is nothing that is not open to discussion, not open to question, that is out of bounds. Our entertainment as the descendants of chattel slavery has to be conscious entertainment. We have to be entertained and not only know what entertainment is, but what type of entertainment we need and why. Because entertainment serves one purpose in human beings, and we need this more than anybody. Entertainment serves to provide renewal and refreshing of our humanity. By the way, shout out to Miss Denny. Welcome to the broadcast. I see you, sis. D Will's in the house, by the way. Welcome to the broadcast. I'm going to say it again. The solution to our issues in the area of entertainment as the descendants of chattel slavery is to be conscious of what entertainment is and understand its purpose. And its purpose is singular. Entertainment is the renewing and the refreshing of our humanity. I know I'm guilty of it, but how many of y'all today are willing to admit that a lot of what you find entertaining doesn't add anything to you. You've become this passive consumer of whatever you claim to be entertaining. Pop a 1 in the chat. I'll even raise my hand to that. I've done that. How many of you have become passive consumers of whatever they throw out there and claim is entertaining? Because I know I have. I'm guilty of the same shit. Dr. Black is in the house issuing a diagnosis, fam. We have become these passive, do-nothing, non-participatory consumers of entertainment. We, most of the time, fam, don't even get anything from what is supposed to be entertaining. How many of you, fam, will watch something and come away lesser than? Like, you feel like shit after you've watched it, right? You'll see something that's supposed to be entertaining, and after you watch it, you mad. You cussing out your mate. You kicking the damn dog, right? You throwing shit. How many of you have participated or saw something that was supposed to be entertaining and it left you all sorts of confused, dazed, and fucked up? I've been there. And I'm going to tell you how I know that y'all all have been there. Because how many of you watched Nate Parker's latest joint or read somebody else's review of Nate Parker's latest joint and thought that there was anything of substance there other than pain for you and me? I watched it, and I actually was less of a person after I watched it than I was before I watched it. That shit, fam, did not renew me. It did not refresh my humanity. It diminished my humanity. Most of our modern entertainment, especially the entertainment that's directed at us, the Black American descendants of chattel slavery, does not refresh or renew our humanity. It diminishes it. The Shade Room, TMZ, World Star. You Negroes don't walk away from an encounter with DJ Vlad being better off than you were when you came into it. You and I have been, again, sold a bill of goods. We've been told that entertainment is what everybody thinks is fun. Everybody thinks is joyful. What we haven't been told, fam, is that entertainment is in everything. Entertainment is in tragedy as well as comedy. Entertainment is in music, but it's also in the silence. Entertainment is on the chessboard, but there's also entertainment in sweeping the motherfucking pieces away. Because entertainment is that which renews, which refreshes us. It's what gets us back to our square, back to true. Did you know, fam, that entertainment heavily involves deception? Oh yeah, fam. Entertainment is deceptive as fuck. And not only is it deceptive, fam, but we actually enjoy it the more deceptive it is. But there's a reason why entertainment is deceptive. Entertainment is deceptive, fam, because entertainment is, in a lot of ways, set up to bypass your conscious thought. Salute. Sister Tiffany, salutations to you. Jared's Viewpoint is in the house, by the way. I see y'all, fam. Welcome to the broadcast. Part of the reason why entertainment is used against us, the descendants of the freedmen, is because of illusion. When I was a boy, I was huge on illusion. I'm talking about magic. You know, like motherfuckers like David Copperfield and all these great magicians. Like I used to watch every special David Copperfield ever did. When he walked through the Great Wall of China, or when he made the motherfucking Statue of Liberty disappear, and this, that, and the third. I was huge on illusion. I was really big into magic. Love sleight of hand. Even to this day, I love sleight of hand. Right? Somebody does a great card trick and I'm just enraptured like, gosh, that was awesome. Right? But illusion, family, in and of itself, is neither good nor bad. Illusion is a tool. If through the use of obfuscation, illusion, I'm able to help you to see a concept, to see an abstraction, to indwell it in you, that leaves you a better person, re-engaged in your humanity, more on your square, then that illusion was a good illusion, fam. I used to like David Blaine too. But now, like any other tool, illusion can also be used to cause harm. And we have let people use illusion in our entertainment to bring us harm. Because, first of all, fam, it's one real good way for white supremacy to continue to dominate us through entertainment. Why do you think they seek to control, first of all, who gets to entertain you? One of our perennial complaints these days is that we don't have anybody that even looks like us, that shares our same heritage and our lineage representing us in entertainment, especially in acting and shit like that. Right? You have people who are foreigners who play our roles. When you look at what was it, that recent movie with Judas and something, Black Messiah or something like, that movie that's supposed to talk about Fred Hampton and William O'Neill and shit like that. It's a prime example. They chose the villain of the story to be played by us, even though the so-called hero of the story was also us too. The use of illusion, fam, can mess with your psyche. It can mess with your mind in the sense that it will make you think that what's up is down, what's right is left, what's black is white, what's white is black. You feel me? We perennially complain now that we don't have anybody that represents us in entertainment. Look at a lot of the singers out here. She's of immigrant descent. She ain't black, but she get to hold herself out as one of us. I'm not hating, right? I ain't got no shade toward her. But does Rihanna's music really represent what and who you are? I remember black artists that sung about love and they wasn't even fucked up behind it. Like, they sung about real love, black men and women. They sung about love, like real connection. Nowadays, you sing about love, people try to make you into a simp. Now, look at this motherfucker here, man. The cape is on. Like, a woman back in the day could sing about how much she needed her man. You can windsurf into my life. Take me up on a carpet ride. Y'all remember that shit? You can get me in a big balloon, but you better get here soon. Right? She's singing about this man like, you can reach me by caravan. Cross the desert like an Arab man. I don't care how you get here. Just get here if you can. That same woman nowadays would be considered a fucking pick-me. But that ain't our culture, fam. That's not our entertainment. That's not us. That old crazy dance hall, shake your ass, and let everybody motherfucking smash, and get drunk and high and all this stuff. That shit was imported. And you're not gonna get me off of that. Even back in the day, when groups like NWA was rapping about fuck the police, we all understood in our guts that was storytelling at its finest. These brothers was highlighting a pain that existed in neighborhood after neighborhood after neighborhood. A desperation that existed in neighborhood after neighborhood after neighborhood. Sure, it wasn't everywhere, but it was broad enough that it needed to be spoken about. Entertainment for us is about the renewal of our humanity. Even at its most grimy, right? Even at our entertainment's most dark, its most tragic, right? If nothing else, that entertainment should communicate to us a need to resist, right? Not to be consumed by despair and apathy, but to resist, to waken in us our humanity so that we fight against the injustices that we just saw on the screen. But nowadays, your entertainment tells you, oh, ain't shit you can do anyway. That's just the way it is. That's just how it is. It doesn't refresh your humanity. I'm going to drop a word on you. And I need you to keep this word close. Your entertainment isn't even recreation no more. Yeah, I said it. There's no recreation in entertainment anymore for us, and hasn't been in quite some time. Recreation, fam. What is recreation? Recreation is a space to rest. It comes from the Latin recreatio, right? Which means to refresh, to recreate, to make new again. Right? You would think of all the need that we have as human beings for entertainment, that we would demand that entertainment recreates us. That entertainment actually makes us, oh yeah, okay, I'm good. Right? That it refreshes, that it renews. You would think we would demand it. But why don't we? Because, fam, we have forgotten the purpose of entertainment. The purpose of entertainment ain't to just clown on motherfuckers. To see somebody else's misfortune and crack up. There's a beauty in Schadenfreude, and I would never deny you it. But it seemed like the only entertainment we get is pain. There's no rest for us in entertainment. By the way, shout out to DJ Jerome P and Sister Alma. There's no recreation in it, fam. When you go out and you play ball, motherfuckers is fighting. Or the cops roll up on you and interrupt your game. or some bullshit going on. You can't even get on the court, on a little half court, and play a little ball and just recreate, renew. You watch your NFL games and you're thinking about how much money you got with the bookie trying to get a come up because your ass broke. You can't even recreate and watch a football game. My cousin Doty, King Doty, may he rest, was killed at a motherfucking barbecue, fam. Of all the shit that black Americans do, barbecue is like, it's like church. It's like air. It's like water, right? Like you have a barbecue, like everything is peace at a barbecue. He was stabbed up at a barbecue. We don't even recreate anymore. Fam, the very purpose of entertainment, the refreshing, the renewal of our humanity, we don't even get that. How are you entertained? How are you entertained? When is the last time you've been able to just explore what someone who performs something artistic for you is trying to tell you? Just cogitate on it. Chew around on it in your head. Let it just marinate in there. When's the last time you played a game that wasn't damn nearly life or death? You think life and death games are entertaining? Like, when's the last time you actually participated in entertainment instead of just being a passive consumer of it? We need to be the most critical of critics of entertainment, and I don't give a shit who it is, because entertainment is a human need so deep that without it we go nuts. And fam, a lot of the mental illness that isn't biochemical in nature, fam, comes from the fact that we don't have the connections, the proper human connections in the mind that we need. Entertainment is a part of those human connections. Entertainment is communal. There is no entertainment with just one person around. Entertainment takes two. And it's better if there's more. For the recreation, the recreation, the refreshing, the renewal of humanity. Entertainment is so damned important, fam, that I was today year old when I deduced just how neglectful we've been of one of the most important areas of human activity we could ever know. Fam, our entertainment has the capability to teach us so much, not just about who we are as individuals and your own perceptions, right? And your own understanding of the reality in which you exist and how you intuit and deduce truth from abstraction, right? But it also has so much to say to us all as a collective, as a tribe, as a people. Fam, entertainment is one of the greatest tools that we have for the renewing of our individual humanity and our collective humanity, fam. It is too important of a thing to just simply absorb passively, unconsciously, unaware. Illusion is too powerful of a tool to leave in the hands of our enemies. narrative, and art is too important to that which makes us the most human for us to leave it in the hands of people who have no interest whatsoever in your betterment, in your uplift. Start taking charge of your entertainment today. Question it all. Look for hidden messages in it all. And I'm not talking about, this agenda and that agenda. We already know that the dominant society at large has various agendas that it's pushing. Fuck them. I'm talking about what you want to see engendered in entertainment for your people that renews and refreshes and recreates our humanity. Right? We can talk about betrayal without dragging it into the filth and the mud. We can discuss betrayal in a song or through a painting or in a play that teaches our children the pain, the hurt of betrayal without dragging their humanity into the mud. We can sing about love without making it just mechanics. Right? We can write to each other. When's the last time you wrote somebody a letter, fam? Writing is art. There's beauty in the written word. When's the last time you wrote somebody something that was just your words? You know how entertaining it would be if I, your brother, got a letter in the mail from one of y'all and it didn't even have to say no more than, hey fam, I'm just writing you because I want to know if you doing all right and to tell you a little bit about my life and you tell me a story. I would sit there and be beaming, fam, reading that letter. I would be a better person after that letter than I was before I got it. And I would be entertained. I would be enjoying it. You get me, fam? The solution to our issue with racism, white supremacy in the area of entertainment is for us to be what we've always needed to be, which is conscious of entertainment. It is too powerful a tool to leave in the hands of our enemies. Our entertainment takes children, makes them into adults, and it reinforces in adults how we should review our lives. Our entertainment determines whether or not we exhale or just simply waiting to exhale. You feel me, fam? Entertainment is vastly too important to leave in the hands of those who ain't us. I don't care what America finds entertaining. I really don't. I couldn't care less. I wouldn't give a fuck if 50,000 critics said a movie was great. Nope. Until I judge it with my eyes, until my people judge it with theirs, until we see whether or not it actually renews and refreshes and recreates our humanity or diminishes us yet again, I can't accept it as entertainment. It may be information, right? It may be informative. They may do a movie about Judas and the Black Messiah. But until I know whether or not that movie enhances, renews, refreshes, recreates my people's humanity, I can't accept it as entertainment. I don't give a fuck how many of y'all liked it. I don't care if the book's got a Pulitzer Prize. I don't give a fuck if an actor's got an Emmy or a Grammy or what, or an Oscar or whatever the case may be. I don't care. Because entertainment is too damn important for me to just leave it unconscious. For me to just assume that entertainment is going to renew and refresh my humanity and the humanity of my people. Not no more. Sport is too important for me to just leave it in the hands of motherfuckers who, will watch us suffer from CTE and then cut off our benefits after we're no longer any use to them. No, I can't support that. Fam, I watched the NFL ever since I was a boy. Started off a Cowboys fan, which is strange from somebody from Kansas City, but I became a Chiefs fan. Last year, or I should say the season before this last one, when the Chiefs won the Super Bowl, fam, I thought it was like the gift of a lifetime. They had never won a Super Bowl in my lifetime since 1971. The Chiefs hadn't went to the Super Bowl and won one. I stopped watching them this past season. I haven't watched a single football game. Why? Because I don't find entertaining watching men who are heroes on a football field and targets all for one. Sorry, that's just not entertainment to me. I don't enjoy watching men perform on a field and are considered treasures when they're on that 100 and some odd yards on that field. But off of that field are targets for every racist white supremacist that live in this motherfucker. I don't find that entertaining. Do you? Do you find that refreshing? Of your humanity? Of theirs? I can't watch no more football. Fuck them. I'll make up a sport and teach my children how to play it. Especially a sport that doesn't put a single goddamn dime into the buckaroo's pockets. Because that shit will be entertaining to me. I'll support any theater group that puts on plays that when I walk out of the play, fam, I feel like I'm a better person when I left than I was when I walked in. Especially if it ain't putting a goddamn dime in the booker's pockets. I'll support that. You know that little brother that be playing on the bucket in the hood? And he got that rhythm going, boy, and you see his body moving. You know what I'm saying? You know who I'm talking about. He got them sticks, fam, and he's making them sing. I'm putting my efforts, my resources into him because that little motherfucker with that bucket and those two sticks is giving me life. My humanity being refreshed right there, my body moving in unison to his, hearing a message that only he and I can hear, seeing a truth that him and I share at that moment. And I ain't put a goddamn dime in no booker's pocket for that. Are y'all with me, fam? Do y'all see now how important entertainment actually is? Wait, are you starting to get a glimpse of the actual joy that you can get from entertainment? They tell you, you got to go and spend $200 out at this establishment with this person for this person tomorrow just to say you love them. I'm going to go out here and make a snowman. And I'm going to show my family my snowman. And we will be entertained. And they will know I love them from that snowman. And I ain't had to put a dime in nobody's pocket. Fuck the NFL. Fuck them all. You ain't gotta see what they, you know what I'm saying? You ain't got, hell yeah, go watch some kids play some football. You want to talk about entertainment. Get some little pee-wees together from your neighborhood and toss them a football. Set up 2 end zones. Better yet, fam, go play with them. How about that? You hate how shitty acting is for us, how unentertaining acting is for us these days? I got an idea for you, fam. Be an actor. You don't have to do a play for nobody but your family. But you get up there and you tell your story and you entertain. I told you, entertainment is reciprocal. When you are entertained at some point, you have to become the entertainer. You don't like the entertainment the way that we have it? It doesn't refresh, it doesn't renew, it doesn't recreate your humanity in you? Then be entertaining. You know that dusty instrument you've been leaving in the back of your closet for the last 15 years you ain't picked up, that's out of tune, that you ain't got no reed for, the string broke on it? Why don't you go out and fix it, fam? Go through your skills again. You're going to be rusty. But you know what? It's going to be entertaining just watching you learn how to play that motherfucker again. Right? Them brushes that you got sitting in the drawer off in the cut. You know, them oils and them acrylics. You got still half the tube left of that phthalo blue or that titanium white. Right? That old half-used bottle of gesso. You still got rolls of canvas stuck off in the back of the closet. I'm going to need you to go ahead and put together a canvas and a frame and get back to work. I'm going to need you to come up with some more entertainment, fam. I'm going to need you to do that. I'm going to need you to get on your brush. Right? All you Adobe heads out there. I'm going to need y'all to just go ahead and keep on creating so that you can recreate in us. I'm going to need you to do that. We ain't got no room for complaining about these lousy ass media moguls and actors and all these lousy ass musicians who talk about all this mess, rap about all this mess. Got our babies out here dancing to all these hypersexualized ass dances. Hell, I'm going to need you to grab your instruments, fam. I'm going to need you to go ahead and be entertaining. Black Man said, I like Forged in Fire, one of my favorite shows on TV. When I get some dirt, I promise you I'm going to have me a forge. Even if I don't ever learn how to make anything, I'm going to have fun like a motherfucker. I will be entertained sitting out there hammering on an anvil, moving steel. I just got to do it. Our sister Alma said, we've all seen better performers anyway. Facts. Fam, in your mind, you know what entertainment is. You know when you are enjoy. Enjoy. E-N-J-O-Y. You know when enjoyment is there. And if this society will not give the descendants of the freedmen enjoyment, we will have the enjoyment we make. Fam, the day the revolution come, a revolution that I can't fucking dance at, I don't want to be a part of. That's how important entertainment really is. I hear you, Sister Sherry. I'm not encouraging nobody to play fuck football. I'm not putting my kid out there on no football field so he can get all fucked up. But I can have him toss a ball around with his friends, learn the value of cooperation, learn abstractions like cooperation and community, like teamwork, like fair play, like reaching a goal. That's facts. I'm going to need y'all to be entertaining. And I'm going to need to do it more too, fam. I'm going to need to do it more too. I'm going to need to entertain y'all more. You feel me? I'm going to need to laugh with you. Provide you with some joy, some enjoyment. Because they ain't going to give it to us. Peace, Don from Nova Scotia, fam. What's good? I don't give a shit about what America at large finds entertainment or what they want to do. We know what entertainment is. Entertainment is that which brings us life. We even say it, but like, ooh, when Whitney sang that song, fam, it gave me life. It's true. It's absolutely true. When Whitney sing, she is legit renewing and refreshing your life. When Denzel act, he is refreshing your life. When you watch Glory, when you watch Man on Fire, when you pick up Toni Morrison's The Bluest Eye, or you read Maya Angelou telling her life story, talking about the things that she went through. Some of it was tragic as fuck. Some of it was crazy as hell, but all of it was entertaining. All of it gave you life. Don't let them convince you that entertainment leaves you lesser than. Everything in the society, fam, is aimed at keeping you bottom caste, keeping you lesser than. Keeping you scratching the bottom of the barrel in woe and despair. Fuck enjoyment. Fuck pleasure. Fuck recreation. You got black people that argue that we should never even be focused on entertainment. You niggas play too much. Y'all always about entertainment. Y'all don't ever take nothing serious. They won't even let you breathe, fam. Bootstrappers and LLC. You know, the LLC pushers. Everything got to be business. Everything got to be hustling. Everything got to be... Why? Fam, when's the last time your ass jumped into a fountain and just started splashing around in that motherfucker because it was there? Real talk. When's the last time you sat around and told those cornball jokes from the Laffy Taffy? Just to remember that y'all used to think them shits was the height of hilarity. When's the last time you did that? When's the last time you played with any kids? Or are you too damn grown to be playing with no kids, right? You too grown to be playing the tickling game or having a pillow fight or getting the pots and pans out of the cabinet and making a drum set out them shits. You too grown for all that. You about your business. Nigga, please. Exactly, Sister Sherry. Jumping into a fountain is not respectable. Oh man, what these crackers gonna think? They see me splashing around in this fountain. Y'all better stop. Y'all better stop and smell the roses. Shit. You get one life as far as we know, and you wasting it hustling, being about your business. Really? Man, I got playing to do. I got entertaining to do. I got entertainment to be. Or did you just think entertainment was just for you? You supposed to be entertaining too. Shit. You supposed to be entertaining too. Like man said, what do you call it, girl with one leg longer? Fam, that joke is actually still funny. That's still funny as hell. When's the last time y'all got together in a group and told your mama jokes? Because I know when I was a kid, we used to clown. And shit was funny than a motherfucker. Right? When was the last time you were the entertainment? When somebody got a really good ass your mama joke off on you and you like, man, that's fucked up, man. As soon as somebody said, man, that's fucked up, man, everybody started laughing. You remember that shit? We didn't need to go to no theater to have entertainment. We standing there. Look, family, you come from a people that will go to a grocery store, come back home, and when your people say, hey, what happened at the grocery store? You get a whole goddamn 3-episode soliloquy of what happened at the grocery store. Oh, nigga, let me tell you, man. The shit started as soon as I walked through the door. You gonna get a full-on story, fam. You know what entertainment is, what enjoyment is. Y'all sitting around knee slapping at this food telling you that, you know, how the person at the deli counter didn't know what the hell sauce was. Right? Unsucking, when's the last time you flew a kite, fam? I think you need to get at that. I think you need to teach somebody how to fly a kite. Sister Sherry, I miss them too. I miss block parties and cookouts and shit. Just pulling the goddamn... Fam, remember the old boom boxes with the big D batteries in the back for all you exes? Remember them shits? You put one of them out on the stoop and it was a party. All of a sudden it was food. All of a sudden it was drink. All of a sudden it was dancing. And the only fight that happened was who was going to argue to see who was going to be the DJ. Remember that shit? Oh, man, you can't be the DJ. You was playing all that bullshit the last time, man. It's my turn. That was the only fight, was who was going to be the DJ. Who was going to put in the cassettes. Fam, you ain't forgot. You ain't forgot what entertainment is. You know exactly what it is. But you have to wake up. You can't be a passive consumer of beauty, of art, of sport. You have to be a consumer in your turn, but you also have to be a producer in your turn. It is reciprocal. Let me get these phones going here. We're going to get the phones going. I want to hear from you, fam. I want to hear your entertainment stories. I want you to tell me how, moving forward, you intend on being entertained. Have you forgotten what it's like? Exactly, Sister Alma. Sister Alma said a truth that's so dope. She said, ain't nobody is entertaining as black folk. Fam, we legit have forgotten so much about what it's like to be entertaining. We actually get offended when people are entertained by us. If I go out here in the snow right now and I fall and slip and bust my ass, after I didn't break nothing, I expect to hear some laughter, you feel me? I expect to hear y'all cracking up in schadenfreude. They're like, good Lord, did you see that big nigga fall down on the ground? Boy, I thought he was gonna fall through it. You feel me? I go out here and I slip on out here in this snow and I fall and bust my ass. After y'all check on me, I want to hear, ah! Why? Because I'm going to be laughing with you. That shit entertaining. Long as nobody got broke, it's all good. Laughter heals the soul, fam. Laughter removes the poison that you have dwelling in you from just being black and American in this motherfucker. Don't let nobody tell you that all niggas do is laugh. We don't laugh enough. Too many of us are still waiting to exhale, fam. (360-602-2667). Laughter keep you young than a motherfucker. I love nothing more than to see my elders laughing. Sitting around telling stories. laughing like a motherfucker. I remember when I was a kid, used to watch the elders playing bones at the table. They be telling some old crazy story. I'm too young to understand the details. But they all break out laughing, so guess what? I'm about to break out laughing too. Because their laughter is infectious. The joy of it just pours over you. It washes over you. The beauty and truth in laughter, fam. Shit. Exactly, Unsucker went straight up into the air. I'm talking about like whoop. Legs went up here, ass went down here. I expect to hear some laughter, goddammit. Because I'm going to be laughing. I can't speak for you, but after I check to make sure I didn't break anything, I'm going to be dying. And I would recommend that you be doing it too. That shit contagious. And that's an infection I want you to catch. I want you to catch a spate of laughter. I want you to catch some enjoyment this weekend. Get with your family and have a motherfucking pillow fight. Have a singing contest. Put on some old music, some old tapes, and see who can try their best to sound like Al Green, knowing ain't none of us gonna hit him. Right? Ain't none of us gonna sound like Al Green, but we gonna try. I'm so in love with you. Just crack up, fam. Why not? You've been hustling and grinding and dragging and working and slaving. It's time for the renewal of your humanity, the refreshing of your body and your mind and your heart. Man, get with your people this weekend and laugh, goddammit. The coronavirus had us fucked up, and the economy got us fucked up, and politics got us fucked up. Nah, fam. Get with your people and crack up. You got brothers and sisters out here right now, fam, who are on the verge of suicide. All they need from your ass is a hug and some laughter. Chase their ass around the house with a belt. You ain't got to hurt them. But you remember how you used to be like, come here, boy. I'll whoop you, imitate an old man. Chase him around the house. And when you catch them, tickle them like they was 3. Remind them of why they here. Remind them of why they want to be alive. Refresh their humanity. Help them reboot. Help them renew. It don't cost you nothing. It could gain you everything. Take entertainment back, fam. Shit. Remember them little pop guns we used to make when we was boys? All you extra boys. Remember the stick with the rubber bands and the clothespin? Remember we used to make nunchucks out of an old broomstick and a dog chain? That same ingenuity, that same creativity is still in you. And that's the one thing that this society would love to deny you, is the expression of your humanity, the creativity. So you recreate, you recreate so that you can create. It's a feedback loop. I create, and then in my turn, I recreate. So I can rest and renew, so then I can create again. Everybody telling you build, 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 build. But to everything, there is a season, right? There's a time for work and a time for play, a time to reap and a time to sow, a time to live and a time to die, right? There's a time for everything. Black people work harder than anybody else in this goddamn country. It's all right if we act a fool, if we cut a rug, if we be laughter, we be filled with joy. It's all right if we just do something stupid just because it's stupid. I love it, man, when my family come to me be like, nigga, you stupid. But they got this big ass grin on their face. I love that. I bet, boy, Lionel, I bet your grandmother was off the chain, fam. I bet you your grandmother was off the chain. And I bet you she has stories that'll make your sides split. Because our grandparents and great-grandparents didn't have their ass on their shoulders. They knew it wasn't no chance of no white acceptance, so they just did them. They just did them. And boy, they had some stories for your ass. It's our turn, fam. It's our turn to create those new stories that we get to then tell our little generations. Unsunken was at throwing frisbee. Damn, fam, I used to love throwing frisbee. Seriously. I bet. And you know what, Lionel? That's a woman after my own heart. She reminded me of my auntie. My auntie had no filter either. That woman say, my auntie Sharon say whatever on her mind. Like zero filter. And the shit be like, it's like a razor blade. It cuts you before you even feel the cut. It's like she'll say something and everybody else is going, ooh, damn, before you even knew she burnt you. Right? Sister Sherry said hula hoop. Fam, y'all notice that intimate connection between entertainment and our bodies? That's how important that shit is. Entertainment. We entertain in our flesh. Hell, I did hacky sack too, black man. I used to love to kick around. As a matter of fact, when I went to Canada, only time I've been out of the country, I went up to BC. When I went to Canada, I copped a SEPA. It's a type of hacky sack. It's like a woven hacky sack. I copped a SEPA at a what the hell is those things called? At a swap meet. I copped me one at a swap meet and brought it back and be kicking that SEPA around. So yeah, I did hacky sack too. I'm waiting to hear some of y'all talk about parasailing. I know y'all not adventurous. Y'all gonna be when I'm done with you. 360-602-2667, fam. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about the fact that they've taken your entertainment away from you. Did you even understood the connection between beauty and truth? Because damn it, fam, I have to say it, that was insightful. I mean, not to toot my own horn, but that was pretty deep. 360-602-2667. It's okay, the runt is the entertainment. That's facts. That is facts. The runt is the entertainment. Whether it's a puppy or the runt of the family, that's entertainment. Oh, she made y'all listen to opera? Hey, fam, I'm not gonna lie. I really like me some Tchaikovsky. Yeah, fam. I'm gonna wrap it up pretty soon, fam. There ain't nobody gonna call in or whatever. It's cool. This one I figured was gonna be a short one because the message is clear and to the point. There isn't much to figure out here, fam. For us, the descendants of the freedmen, entertainment is right up there with every single other area of human activity. Right? Even the book where I have a saying, all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. Right? Don't let people browbeat you and abuse you into giving up your recreation, because you need recreation in order to create. You need that renewal, that refreshing of your humanity so that you're able to do that for others, to do that for your people. You need to be entertaining so that in your turn we can entertain you. We got this. We always had it, fam. We've always had this. Black folk is the only folk in this country that can be entertained with a bucket and two sticks. Caller from 910, it's your man Mark Black. What's your name? Where you calling from? What's on your mind, fam?
Hey, how's it going, man? It's John calling out of Fayetteville.
What up, John? Hey, fam, what do you think about what we talked about today as far as entertainment and human activity and you know, and how our people do entertainment or how we deal with it? What's on your mind?
I'm glad you touched on the subject, man. It's much needed. I mean, on a much lighter note, I would say this: I find that the people who could be easily entertained by just the simplest things tends to be the ones that's happy being by themselves from time to time.
Hmm.
You see, I see the people who love to delve in like what's going on in other people's lives within social media
Hmm.
or any other thing of that sort. You know, when they're all alone, it's like they go crazy.
Yep.
And I think that's just a right now thing. I guess in today's society, I would say. But if you entertain yourself in the most simplest ways, man, you won't have a problem being by yourself from time to time. That's just an observation I got, man.
No, you know what? Actually, I'm glad you brought that up, right? Because I don't want anything that I said to indicate that you can't have entertainment by yourself. But even when you're
Right.
you're entertaining yourself using concepts and abstractions that you gain from other people. In other words, no human being is born knowing how to recreate. We're just born with the need to recreate. You get where I'm coming from? So it's crazy. It's just like we've been talking about technology, right? And how humans use technology to compensate for apparent or perceived limitations in themselves, right?
Right.
Recreation, entertainment is to meet the need of our renewing every so often, our exhaling, our rest period, our idleness, right? When I was a boy, I grew up kind of in a religious background. And I remember, some of the elders, and they were usually the real dour ones, the ones you really didn't want to hang out with or fuck with. They was the ones who would always say shit like, idle hands is a devil's workshop. Why would you say stupid shit like that? Like, my idleness means sometimes there just ain't nothing to do. Sometimes I just need to rest a little bit so I can get back to doing something. But we've been enculturated to think that if we play too much or if we too idle or too happy, that we not serious. I would argue, fam, that a happy black person is one of the hardest working black people that's out here, fam. When you have a hobby, like if you into woodcrafting or something like that, and you in the wood shop, there's no denying woodworking is hard ass work, right? But when you love
Right.
it, when you entertained by it, man, you could spend 5 hours in a workshop, in a wood shop, and never feel like you worked a moment. Right? There's an old
Mm.
saying, do what you love and you'll never work a day in your life. How is it that everybody else get to operate like that, but black folk don't? We have to always do the drudge shit. We always have to be nose to the grindstone. We always have to work twice as hard to get what half of everybody else get. Well, fuck that. If they can play and act goofy and recreate and refresh and renew and reboot, so can we.
Well, I'll ask you this, and I won't even say this is a rebuttal or anything. And you would know better than I would because I've never been in the military. You have.
Mm-hmm.
At what point do soldiers, get to quote unquote play? Like when they're
Fam,
in the midst of war.
great question. Great question. And the answer to your question is every motherfucking chance we get.
Sorry.
If soldiers ain't eating, they ain't warring, or they ain't sleeping, they playing. I have never seen a more playful, silly ass group of human individuals than I have the members of the United States military. Them motherfuckers play constantly. Constantly. Fam, I'll give you a case in point. I used to go out. I spent a lot of time out in the field, even though I wasn't, at war. My job was to support a whole bunch of people that could go to war at any moment. So when they would go out and practice their job out in the field, I would have to be out there too. So I spent on average anywhere from 2 to maybe even 3 weeks out of every month, not in the rear with the gear, but out actually doing my job, right? And I was a person who was out there in the middle of nowhere by myself. $30 million of radio equipment on the back of a Humvee on my personal say-so, armed with an M60, an M16, and my rapier wit, right? Fam, when I was out there, I wrote letters to my family and to my girlfriend, right? I read a lot. I would dig holes around my area just to have something to do. Like I would dig holes and refill them. You know what I'm saying? Trying to make mounds of dirt to make my area look like it was scary and shit, right? And it was all a means by which to refresh. I had my job to do. But when I wasn't actively engaged in that, fam, it was all play. I be sitting out there twirling my weapon around, you know what I'm saying, spinning it around like, you know, like you see them drill, in ceremonies, guys from the Marine Corps spinning their rifles around and doing the manual. I used to practice manual arms just for the fun of it. Soldiers, sailor, airmen, and Marines play more than any other group of Americans on the planet. And I would dare anybody to argue otherwise. When they're not sleeping or eating or fighting, they playing. So yeah, fam, warriors. You know what? It's not even so much balance, fam. Think about this, okay? Yeah. One could argue that black people are at war with our own society, right? With our own nation. We're at war in a sense, right? And sometimes that war even becomes a hot war, okay? When you are in that type of environment, over time, war will wear you down if that's all your focus is. If your focus is just on, making sure, look, okay, I'll give you a case in point. Look at Rambo. The character Rambo, right?
Right.
Rambo came home from Vietnam, but it was almost like he didn't. You see what I'm saying? Like he right. left the war, but the war never left him. And there's nobody that would argue that Rambo is like a character that you would really want to be like. Like, we like the fact that he can one man go in there and kick a whole army ass and this, that, and the third, but nobody will argue that Rambo is a good human. Didn't have good relationships. Hell, even the commanding officer, the one person he had a decent relationship with, you know what I'm saying? Dude died and he snapped off. You see what I'm saying? Like, right. It's important to just be human as much as possible. And I don't know how to say it any other way to do that. And one of the best ways to be human is to be both entertaining as well as entertained. You see our humanity come out in entertainment, fam. When it's a group of us that's together and we participate in the entertainment, tell me you don't feel that spirit there, that joy there, that just absolute calm and happy and peace that's there, right? When black folk get together, fam, and we enjoying something, man, the shit it's like a balm to the soul. Do you know what I mean? That's why they call us soul people, right? That's why they call certain music soul music. Because that shit speak to a place you didn't even know was in you. And it's important to always kind of be there. Like, people think entertainment is something that you do every so often. For us as black folk, entertainment needs to be kind of the default in order to compensate for all the pain and the trauma and stuff that we have to go through. We need to be more entertaining. We need to be more entertained. Right?
That's like the embodiment of a comedian, right?
Exactly, man. Why do you think we love our comedians so much? And why do you think our comedians is the funniest motherfuckers out there? Bernie Mac, Dave Chappelle, Monique, some more. You know what I'm saying? Cat Williams. Everybody in America watches black comedians. Red Fox, Richard Pryor. You know, Bill Cosby, Eddie Murphy. Because comedy for black folk has been traditionally wrapped up in our suffering. We've had to find a way to just laugh at some of the shit we gone through. Like you go to the motherfucking, you live out in the sticks and you go to the country store, you know, to get some feed for your animals. And you walk in and an old white lady who got dementia, who don't even remember her own name, turns around and calls you a nigga. You just have to be like, damn. Like, she don't even remember her family name, but she know I'm a nigga though, right? And you just gotta laugh about that shit. Now, when you tell that story to black folk, we be cracking up. We be cracking up because we know what that's like. We know that feeling. And the laughter heals us from the pain of that interaction. You dig? So we need to be more entertaining. Like, we shouldn't be cutting down black people that are funny. We actually distrust black people that we say play too much. There is no such thing in this traumatic ass society in which we live of black people playing too much.
Yeah, I may disagree with that a little bit.
Go ahead, fam. This is a discussion. You can, if you disagree, tell me why.
I disagree because us, as far as, you know, us as black people go, you know, entertainment is what we do by default all the time. I would venture to say that we do it too much.
Wait. I know what you on. I know what you on, and I agree with you. And you know why I agree with you? Because you're absolutely right. We entertain too much everybody else. We don't entertain ourselves enough at all. You are absolutely right, fam. Black people is a running fucking joke for everybody else in America. Everybody else in America are entertained to the heights of the heavens by black people's antics. Our drive to try to make these motherfuckers feel comfortable with us and smile at us and look at us and pat us on the head. Yeah, we got that sickness bad as fuck. You are absolutely right, fam. We do play too much when it comes to America. Where we need to be hard as fucking nails is with them. But now around us, where we need to be more engaging, more loving, more entertaining, more funny, more joyous, more happy, we can't seem to find that for us.
I agree. That I agree with.
Shit, I'm right there with you, fam. It's sick as fuck to watch us sit there and buck dance and shoe shuffle and bootlick to try to make these punk motherfuckers happy. Look, it don't matter what we do. They ain't gonna accept us. They made that clear. We cannot assimilate under current circumstances into American society. And I, for one, am tired of fucking trying. If I have entertainment from now on, I got that entertainment for my family, for my tribe, for my people. I don't give a fuck if white America or Latino America or Asian America find me funny. I couldn't give a good goddamn less what they think about me. All that joy that we've been told that we're supposed to try to bring to the whole world, I want to bring to you. I want you to laugh at me, fam. And I want you to laugh with me, fam. You know what I'm saying? I want to crack a joke and you be like, this nigga black, man. Oh my God. You know what I mean? Right?
Yeah. You know, I agree with you 100%, man. I do. What you're saying, I agree with you. There's not even a but to it. I just want to make sure that, you know, like our generation, and I'm speaking for the people within my age group. I'm 30.
Yeah.
Well, I'm 31 actually. And I want to make sure that the people within my generation, my age group, we don't drop the ball for the future generations because, you know, our minds is always focused on just, you know, let's just have fun. Let's forget about what's going on in the world. Because, you know, a lot of people do that. Some people use religion for that.
True that.
Some people use all types of things just to, like, get themselves out of reality.
But you know what though, fam? I'm going to be honest with you. We know that that's the case due to trauma. But what heals trauma? Right? What heals trauma is connectivity, is sharing of the burden, right? Black folk for too long have been told that we have to depend on something else to fix us, right? In religion, we told we gotta rely on Jesus. You know, I don't know what you're going to see that therapist for or talking to your homies for. You just need to get on your knees. No, I don't. I need my people. I'm going through some shit, and I need to be able to call up my man Mark Black and say, brother Black, man, I'm just going through it, fam. And you know what you need from me? You need for me to help carry that burden with you. That's what's going to heal the trauma. That's what's going to heal the pain. Guess what? Maybe, just maybe, brother, it might be time for you and me both to act a little crazy, right? It might be time for us both to just wild out, right? So you can go ahead and get that poison about you, get that shit about you, right?
All right.
You know what I'm saying? But if we keep telling ourselves that we have to wait for salvation, that we have to wait for pleasure, that we have to wait to exhale, that we have to wait for all these things, well then why is it a wonder that black people is crazy? Why is it a wonder that we can't even be comfortable around each other, man? I mean, goddamn. I used to remember a time, fam, when you could go anywhere as a black man in any black neighborhood and find somebody who is you and you got a friend for life. Just like that. You just be like, hey, bro, you give them a nod. They give you the nod. How you doing, fam? Right? And it was instant, that connection. We've taken all the energy that needs to be directed towards us and our sustenance and our healing and our protection, and we've given it all to everybody else.
You don't think that was it sounds like an excuse, but you don't think that was done by the design?
Oh, it's most definitely by design. Think about this, man. The day that black Americans decide that we don't give a fuck about nothing and nobody else's shit, everybody in this country will lose their mind. Do you know why? Because there's a role that black people in America play that is a quintessential role to help maintain white supremacy and racism in the United States of America. And that role is that we are America's Jiminy Cricket. We America's moral arbiter of conscience, right? If black people outraged about something, it's okay to be mad about. If black people laughing, then all is right with the world. Well, what if black people said, you know what? Fuck what y'all talking about. I'm gonna be over here doing my thing. Like they talk all that shit about what happened on the 6th of January up at the Capitol. That ain't got nothing to do with black folk. Even if there was black people there, that don't have nothing to do with us. Let them bootlicks be there and do what they do. Let these motherfuckers that like to step and fetch and buck dance and butter biscuit chase, let coons be. They reward is coming, fam. They don't need, I don't even have time for coons, right? I don't have time for anybody that ain't got time for me and mine. I don't give a shit about other people's issues. That's not to say I don't recognize injustice. I don't recognize, trauma or abuse in other people when they go through it. Hell, nobody knows that better than we do. But what it's saying is that unless they willing to come and mule for us for a change and heavy lift with us and help us carry our fucking burdens, I ain't got it for them. I got it for you. And that's it. And that's all.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. I do. I'm listening, and I agree with you. And I wanted to address something dealing with what you just said. And
go ahead,
something
fam.
that I seen on the last video. Not particularly what you said in the last video.
Yeah.
But it was a comment that was made.
Yeah.
And the comment that was made on the chat was, I'm paraphrasing here, but I heard something along the lines of, I'm waiting for the gangsters and thugs. Where you at when you need them? It was a phrase that was made on the chat, and this is right after I got off the phone with you.
Yeah,
and I wanted to address that because that's something that's important to me. Because that's something that I want to do personally for my community, which is going back starting with the hood that I come from,
Mm-hmm.
and taking the kids and doing what they try to do with us, which is, you know, show them a different way, do trips or whatever outside of the project, go out
Absolutely.
on cruises and go out on, you know, different carnivals and all type of things just to show kids from the inner cities and or from the hoods or whatever that, you know, all of this, like us seeing each other as enemies, that's by design. Like somebody said something to Steve Coakley back when he did a lecture, and it was an older gentleman who said, "Well, what are we gonna do about all these hoodlums and them shooting each other and da 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 da?" And Steve Coakley said, he said, I put my trust more into those people you call gangsters than I put my trust in you." And he said, "Why is that?" He said, "Because he said, yeah, they might not have the mind for it, but they damn sure have the heart."
You damn right.
And that's the thing, like,
I put my trust in them before I ever put my trust in most of these Negroes that'll sell us out quick, fast, in a hurry from a pat on the head from they white liberal handlers.
right, exactly. So, hey, I wanted to give a little insight to a story, man, to a personal story that I have. I'm gonna make this
Fam,
quick.
the floor is yours. Drop it.
I'm from Slowbound Projects, Yonkers, New York. That's where Mary J. Blige is from. She visited. She did the whole what was it called, behind the music thing when they followed her into the elevator.
Mm-hmm.
I was there when they followed her and everything, and she was talking about the pee in the elevator and the projects. For some of y'all that live in the projects in New York, y'all know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Now, that's prevalent because me growing up, I used to think that that was just normal. So any family member who would like come from out of the hood to visit us, you know, when they would scrunch their face up or put their hand over their face when they see the pee, or just when I see the look of disgust, it puzzled me as a child.
Yeah.
It really did. It puzzled me because I couldn't understand for the life of me what's going on. This is what I see every day.
Mm-hmm.
This is normalized for me. It wasn't until I did it myself. I peed in the elevator, and because I thought it was normal. And when my family came down to visit, and I bragged about it, my uncle punched me in my chest, hung me up on the elevator, and told me, "This ain't normal. This ain't you. This ain't who we are." He wasn't just talking about me, he was talking about everybody
Exactly.
that live in this project.
Exactly.
You see what I mean?
That's not who we are. That's who we've been made to be. Right?
Right.
We look at the worst among us, and we fail to remember the fact that the only way everything you see around you can continue to operate the way it does is for everything that you see in the hood to continue to be. Because once you realize that there is a tie between Beverly Hills and the projects, you ain't gonna stand for Beverly Hills to continue standing, right? You ain't gonna allow for that to continue to occur because you understand the scales are out of balance. You understand the injustice that a Beverly Hills can exist while leaving certain human beings in the motherfucking projects. You dig? That's why they don't want us to be having these conversations that we've been having about living consciously, about not normalizing anything, about questioning everything, right? Is it truly normal to be pissing in the elevator, right? And to actually look for the answers. You feel me? Right? We can't afford to normalize a goddamn thing until we've tested it all. And that's, fam, in these broadcasts that I'm going to be doing across all the areas of human activity, that's the one common thread that is going to weave like a needle and thread between all of these videos, is that nothing can be assumed to be beneficial to us until we've tested it. Until we have examined it, turned it over, not just as individuals, but as a tribe.
Oh, yeah.
You feel me?
That's my thing, man.
Yes,
I just
sir.
want to make sure that people got that understanding. Like these, I don't care if it's in Chicago. When y'all see that what y'all call black on black crime in Chicago, that's programming right there to the fullest. Like that's exactly what that is.
Exactly.
And y'all gotta understand that if there's it sounds like excuses, but it is what it is. If I didn't have an uncle to show me what was up, I'd have been taught by guys who was 40 years old but still got the mind of a teenager.
Yeah.
Because they've been living up under their mothers. They see how their mothers do it, and I'm not blaming,
No, I hear you, fam. I'm talking. You're right. With all the pathology that we exposed to, if we don't get a chance to be shown that there are other ways of living other than how we've been living, then why be surprised that we continue to live how we've been living, right? Like people, I talk about land acquisition all the time and getting back out on the soil. You know what drove that in me, fam? I'll share a little personal story with you. When I grew up in the projects, I grew up in Riverview Projects in Kansas City, Missouri, right? Shout out to Riverview. And there's a little, you know how every project had that little office, right? The management office where you go pay your rent and, they got different shit to go down there at the office. Well, during the summertime, they would have this little thing for the kids to come down and get a lunch and, play at the playground and shit and just kind of hang out, someplace it was safe to come kick it, right? And they would take us on field trips and shit. One field trip they took us on is they took us out to an actual farm. Now, mind you, I hadn't ever even left Kansas City at 7. I had never even remembered going outside of Kansas City. And most times, I never even left a 2 square mile radius. And all of a sudden, I'm out in the middle of nowhere in the sticks, right? On this farm. And they taking us around the farm, and I'm seeing hay bales, and I'm smelling cow shit, and walking down, unpaved paths, and there's grass everywhere, and the air clean, and I'm just like, what the hell kind of? It was like being in a completely different world, fam. And then one of the cows was giving birth to a calf, and the farmer let me help. Fam, I've been addicted to everything country and rural ever since. Because I saw a life that was not the hood, that was not the projects.
Right.
It's time for us who came from that to return to that and to make a way for those young brothers and sisters that don't see no other way. We are the salvation they've been waiting for.
That's one of my passion lines right there.
I feel you, fam. Well, indulge that shit and have fun while you do it. Entertain while you doing it.
Oh yeah, man. I used to tell anybody who would listen, and when I used to say it sounded crazy to me, but I used to tell anybody who would listen that growing up, I really didn't see any white person that was my age growing up. The only white people that I seen was teachers, cops, firemen, anybody who was like some type of authority.
Yep, social workers, cops,
social workers,
teachers.
Exactly. I've never seen any of the white kids that was within my age group. So when I came down south and I seen just the whole thing of the interracial couples going on, it blew my mind. Not because I was conscious of anything at the time. It was more so of, wow, where they do that at?
Yeah, fam, when I came up here to Seattle, I landed at SeaTac Airport. I get out, I got my uniform on, right? Because I was in the Army and I was being stationed up here at Fort Lewis. I come walking out of the terminal and shit, and I seen 6, and I'll never forget it because I actually counted them. 6 interracial couples. And I was floored. I was like, they do that up here? Like, I wasn't, I wasn't like, oh, now I'm gonna go chase white women or nothing like that. No, it was just like, damn, like, what kind of world is this? You know what I'm saying? And nobody was really looking at them funny or nothing. They was just doing their thing, and it was just like, whoa. What? Like, the thing is, fam, is that the world is both more profane and more divine than we think it is as black folk. But we don't get a chance to experience that. We get our options constricted. And that includes in entertainment and every other area. Like the binding of the descendants of the freedmen is the national pastime. The keeping us down, the keeping us bound is the national pastime, you dig? And we need to break those chains. But first, in order to break them, fam, we need to see that they're there. Like, we don't even talk really about entertainment. When we do, we talk about it in terms of morality. Entertainment ain't moral. It's just a human need, right? So let's talk about what we need from entertainment rather than talking about, oh, these motherfuckers always shaking their ass and this and that. We're always making these moral judgments, but these moral judgments aren't helping us to understand entertainment any better. Matter of fact, it tends to get us away from even thinking that entertainment is anything of value, when entertainment is one of the greatest human values that we have.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So we got to start with the understanding of where these chains bind us so that we can break them.
Hey, well, before I go, I wanted to leave us with this last thing, man. Based off everything I was saying earlier, you ever seen The Wire?
Yeah, of course I seen The Wire. Boy, that was a hell of a show.
The director, the same director who made The Wire, made this show called Show Me a Hero. It was a miniseries.
You said Show Me the Hell?
Show Me a Hero. The same director who made The Wire.
Put the title of it in chat, because I want to make sure that we get that, because I might check that out.
Yeah, it's called Show Me a Hero, and it's by the same dude who made The Wire. It's literally talking about how they segregated all the white people on Yonkers on the suburban side, and then moved all the black folks into the projects on the other side. And again, when I used to tell people I never seen anybody who was my age, I thought I was bugging until I seen the show, and it was like, okay, this confirms that everything that I was seeing, as far as like the fighting, as far as like, if you want to look at enemies back then, that's who I seen was enemies. Anybody who was in the project, if I feel like you're trying to take from me, that's who I seen as an enemy, quote unquote. That was all by design.
Yeah, the theft is hidden. The theft is hidden. Right, you're right. The pillage is hidden. You know, Dr. Darity talks about that a lot in his work, how part of his work is just highlighting where the pillage took place, right? Uncovering where we've been robbed, right? Where we've been, you know, where America has jacked us, right? Because a lot of times they hide the pillage, or worse, they put a black face in charge of the pillage so that we can get blamed for what happens to us. And it's disgusting because, man, no matter if you put a black face on it, robbing the descendants of the freedmen is still robbery. And we're still owed what we've had stolen from us. And the key thing is, though, is that, you know, when you look at stuff like redlining and segregation and all this and that, what people fail to understand is that we were not better off in that circumstance. I hate people that romanticize segregation, right? Because it's one thing if black people come together and say, hey, we better off with each other, and we choose to go off on our own and build our own communities and shit like that, right? That's one thing. But it's a completely another thing when you have zero option but to be off on your own, right? People in our generation and a little younger don't seem to understand how insidious segregation really was. It wasn't that, all black people was just in love with each other and we chose to live up under each other. Nah, you had no other fucking choice. That was what it was. Even if you were a professional black person and everybody in your office was buckra and you were making money hand over fist, if you wanted to have a house, you had to live where black people live at. You had no choice. that shit is not to be romanticized. We can't be looking at that and saying we were better off that way. No, we can choose for ourselves to self-segregate. We could choose to say we want to separate, but segregation is poison. And we still haven't investigated that, in my opinion, to the extent we need to. You know what I'm saying? Because it's poisoned multiple generations of black people.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, in that vein, the people who said segregation is better, we was better off that way. I mean, if you wanna look at it from a logical standpoint, a lot of black businesses was lost due to integration. You know, like a lot of black business, we threw away our black businesses to join to integrate into other businesses.
I hear you on that one, but that assumes something that I don't think we have facts and evidence for. That assumes that those businesses were sustainable to begin with. Black people should have never been developing businesses. I'll give you a case in point. One of the areas that black people done had a chance to actually be involved in without too much fuckery is mortuary services, right? That traditionally amongst black people was a way of being able to kind of make a living, a good, respectable living, right? So I'm just going to use it as an example, okay? Undertaking services or mortuary services, right? Now, they serviced only black clientele, right? Because first of all, black people don't usually tend to trust white folks with our bodies while we live, while we living. We definitely ain't gonna trust them motherfuckers with our bodies when we gone, right? And second of all, you know what I'm saying? These people, usually men, but there were women, were the kind of the creme de la creme. They dressed nice. They had nice vehicles. You know what I'm saying? They were respectable, right? We could look at them as examples of respectability, right? But the thing is this. If those black mortuary homes that made one black person rich or wealthy or well off was instead on the order of the old burial societies that we used to have when we first became freedmen, we couldn't afford undertakers. So what we did is we chipped in on what we call burial societies, and I would encourage you to look it up. Burial societies wasn't about profit. Burial societies wasn't trying to make nobody rich. Burial societies were there to make sure that when we lost loved ones, we had the capability to give them a home going that was proper. You feel me? Right? So
I'm gonna check it out.
So understand that I got no problem with black people organizing together to be able to provide our needs. We should be doing that. And you're right. To the extent that we haven't done that since integration, it has definitely caused us hurt. But let's not sit here and say that that's due to the fact that we don't support black businesses. The fact is that the black dollar isn't enough to really support anybody's businesses because we don't have a whole lot of dollars. So in point of fact, every dollar we need to keep, and we need to start building infrastructure and systems that allow us to meet our needs with the minimum of using dollars. Right? In other words, we need to go back to burial societies again. We need to chip in on purchases of land that we can then dedicate to cemeteries and, and places to place urns and the remains of our people again. And we need to make it not about the profit motive. It ain't here so that, brother so-and-so can drive the nicest Cadillac and wear suits all day. No, it's here to provide our people with the necessary service that we need, right? And I think that's the shift that needs to take place. I'm not saying that we shouldn't have those things, right? I want us to have the capability to send our people home to the ancestors in a proper and beautiful and dignified fashion. I want our sisters to be able to go and beautify and pretty themselves up and doll up. You know what I'm saying? I want brothers to be able to, come together and construct things and build things but we have to take the profit motive out of it. It can't inure to the benefit of a single black individual. Because what we've seen when that occurs, fam, is that they just point at that one black person and they say, see, look at him. Like, look at Madam C.J. Walker. She made herself, she was a self-made millionaire and this, that, and the third, right? Code Ref said, if we can't support businesses, fam, I'm going to let you have the last word because I want to kind of address what Code Ref said, but.
I'm gonna just leave it off at that, man.
All right, fam. Hey,
always, man.
Always a pleasure, brother. You're welcome to call in anytime, and I thank you and I love you, fam.
All right, man. One love, man.
Peace. Code Ref. So I get where you're coming from, right? It's hard to fathom that we can't support an infrastructure, right? Because we can't support businesses. So let's take a look at that real quick, because we assume that support of businesses means that we have capital to support them. Okay, so let's look at that real quick. Infrastructure is, I'm not going to take a call right now because I would like to actually address what the brother is saying here. I'm not saying I'm not taking no more calls, but I'm saying pause right now on the calls because I want to address what Code Ref said. Infrastructure and businesses are not the same, right? Infrastructure is what allows businesses to even be supported in the first place. Infrastructure is foundation, right? Code Ref, are you following me? Like, okay, you have a business. You open up a business tomorrow, okay? But if you got nobody that knows how to construct a building, nobody that knows how to wire Ethernet cable, nobody that knows how to do electrical work, no, I'm sorry, I'm not taking any calls right now, fam. Matter of fact, let me close this out for right now because I do want to address this real quick. And I appreciate y'all's patience, right? But if you don't, hey, Sister Strong Fire, peace. If you don't have infrastructure, Code Ref, you can't support businesses anyway. Part of the reason why we can't support businesses is because black people don't have infrastructure. Right? All of the infrastructure that we could use to support businesses, we don't own. Now, we do have some degree of access to resources and capital, and we have to work to build an infrastructure. But because of our lack of a lot of capital, this isn't to say we broke completely flat busted. We have some resources, right? But because we don't have the level of resources that the other people around us do have, any infrastructure that we build has to necessarily take the profit motive out of it. In other words, we don't have the capital to support motherfuckers getting rich off of our infrastructure. You feel me? Code Ref, am I making any sense, fam? It's not to say that I don't want us to one day have maybe businesses if we still going, for some stupid reason, engage with capitalism, but it is to say that while we do have the means to be able to create an infrastructure, that infrastructure will only be able to allow us to maintain without us getting the restitution that we're owed, right? We're owed reparations. That's without a doubt, right? But we can build an infrastructure that allows us to be able to live sustainably without necessarily having gained that as of yet. But that infrastructure will not be strong enough to ever sustain businesses in the capitalist fashion, not without a great infusion of capital to Black Americans. So again, fam, I'm not saying that we can't build infrastructure that replaces the things that we currently try to use business to do. Like, do we really need 5 Black undertakers or 5 Black mortuary services in a city? No. What we need is for them to get out of the way trying to hoover off the cream off the top so that we can sustainably be able to send our people home in a dignified and proper fashion. That's what I'm saying. Do we need 30 beauty salons? No. What we need to do is create an infrastructure that allows beautification of men and women without people trying to skim the extra bread off the top. We can't call it. We can support beautification of our people. We can support homegoings. We can support education. But we can't support that and people trying to skim the extra off the top, which is what profit is under capitalism. Profit is the difference between the value provided and the payment made. So if we try to have black businesses, by their very definition, the way they have to operate under capitalism is by either offering us less value so that they can charge a price and have a gap in between for profit, or they have to provide us less service. Either way, it's not helpful. It's not like, what good is black business if we either can't get the business from them that we need from them, right? In other words, we can't get the service from them that we need from them without going bust, right? That's it, Code Ref. That's exactly what I'm saying. Capitalistic competition cannot be a factor in black American infrastructure building. We don't have the capital to support people skimming off the fucking top. We have the capability to be able to sustain folk and to provide services, products, and so on and so forth. But the profit motive has to go, fam. It just don't work for us. We don't have enough capital for that. Now, we get our reparations, and you want to be the greatest capitalist America's ever seen? Have at it, house. Or, conversely, if you're going to own a black business, stop depending on black people to fucking sustain your business. Sell that shit to everybody else. Like, why is it that when you have a business, because you're black, we're obligated in some way, shape, or fashion to put capital in your business so that you can, so that you can make profit? Well, why is that? Well, no, I do see it's a tall order, but part of the problem is, Code Ref, is we just simply have not even had the fucking discussion. Every time we talk about goddamn economics, we talk about, y'all niggas don't support black businesses enough and this, that, and the third. Well, the fact is why is it on our backs to support black businesses? You come to us, the ones that have the least amount of capital, market only to us, and then get mad when we can't sustain your business along with you skimming whatever it is that you skim off the top for profit. If you want to run a business in America as a black person, that's perfectly fine. But market to every motherfucking body else. Why are you putting that on our backs to lift you? We can't do it, right? If I know I got a business, why would I go to the one people that I know wouldn't necessarily have the means to be able to sustain my business? I want that Asian money. They make more money by income and all this shit and have access to more resources than pretty much anybody. And I would agree with you, Code Ref. Most of the time when you have a black business, it is black folks. But here's the problem. Black folks, especially business black folks, they seem to forget they Negroes. Yeah, I said it. Black business people, black entrepreneurs are too busy trying to be white entrepreneurs. That ain't on me. Because if I was a black owned business, I can guarantee you that when you see my ads, when you see the people behind the counter and this, that, and the third, you would not see a black face anywhere. You goddamn right, I said it. I would have Asian faces, white faces. Look, any of you who read the laws of power, the 48 laws of power, what is the law of power? Use a cat's paw. I have no fucking problem whatsoever using white faces to sell my products and services. None at all. And I can still use the profits that I gain from getting they bread to benefit my people. Now, if you want to talk about playing black capitalism like that, then maybe we can have a conversation. But you want to sit here and think that you're going to be the next Bill Gates, the next tycoon, just on the strength of your ideas or on the strength of your service. You're fucking mad. You're still a Negro in this society. And when they see you, they see Pookie. And of course they gonna boycott you. They don't want to benefit you or Pookie. So why put your face out there in front? Because of pride? To say I have a black owned and operated business? Fuck your pride. If it was truly about playing the capitalism game, pride wouldn't even be a fucking... Byron Allen made his money bootlicking the white folks. But I remember back in the day, because like I said, I'm 48. I remember watching Byron Allen back in the day thinking, that is the whitest Negro I have ever seen in my motherfucking life. Real talk. Byron Allen is the whitest nigga in America. That's no bullshit. Of course they was gonna love Byron Allen. Byron Allen made it clear that there was no boot he would not lick. There was no white ass he would not kiss. He would make his money creating these weak ass TV shows that played off of some of the craziest stereotypes of black people. Cause you know we entertaining to the whole goddamn world. Of course they'll let a Byron Allen operate. He ain't no threat to white capital. But now a black person with a good business idea, a solid business structure is a threat. So use a cat's paw. And you don't even have to take my word for it. Fam, over in China right now, there's businesses whose whole job is to bring in white folks to market their products to Chinese people. Yep, that's right. I bullshit thee not, fam. I'm gonna have to do a broadcast on it one day. There are businesses whose whole MO, how they make their bread, is bringing in white actors to pose as doctors, technicians, all of that, to sell products to Chinese people. So we black people are self-hating if we don't support black businesses. But China has their own goddamn country, their own currency, their own nation, and this and the third. And they still prefer to buy from white folks. And so Chinese people that want to sell shit to Chinese people, if they really want to get in good, they use a white face. If they want to sell Chinese products to European motherfuckers, guess what? They go get a white face to hawk it. They ain't got no pride about sitting there talking about we're a Chinese owned and operated company. They don't give a fuck about that. All they care about is the bread. Chinese don't have no problem sitting back off in the cut and letting some white motherfucker whose words they put in their mouth, he's their puppet. They got their hand right up his ass and he say everything they tell him to say for pay. They don't have a problem with that. But what black entrepreneurs do you see talking like that? What black entrepreneurs? See, this is what I'm saying. You come to me talking about black entrepreneurship and black businesses, and I'm with it, right? If you go play the capitalism game, cool, right? But if you gonna play it, then play the motherfucker. This ain't got nothing to do with morals and this, that, and the third, or whatever the case may be. This is about winning. And so far, black entrepreneurs to me ain't showed me in no real convincing fashion that they really trying to win. They're not trying to let black people play the capitalism game. So if you're trying to get in, you either are, sweet, badass sweet back or some shit, or you're going to have some white faces fronting for you. You're going to have to be marketing to everybody else. And stop trying to break the backs of your people to skim the cream off the top for your riches. I ain't got no problem with you playing the game if that's what you want to do. Right? If you want to be a capitalist, be a capitalist. But black people cannot fucking sustain you. We can sustain infrastructure. We can build the infrastructure that will provide us the services, the products, and so on and so forth that we need. But we don't have enough for somebody to be coming in and sweeping the profit off the top and hoovering it all the way so that they can individually drive a nice whip, live in a big fucking house, have big numbers in their bank account. We can't call that. So if you want to play that game, that's cool. Do entertainment, sell it to white folks. You want to have a product or service, sell it to them Asians and white folks. And then take that money that you bring in from them and help us build infrastructure so that we don't have to give our money to white folks. How about that? How about that? You want to play the capitalism game? How about you go out there and take from them everything you can while making sure that we don't have to give them nothing? Where's the black entrepreneurs talking like that? That I want to build an economic enterprise to make sure that black people don't have to pay shit, but everybody else got to pay in full. Sign me up. I'll be the first one to buy stock in that company. You feel me? I want to make sure that black folk can get everything I got for free, but everybody else pay full price. That motherfucker, I will buy preferred stock. You understand me? I will be the first in line with my nickels and dimes coming up out my change bucket. Be like, brother, how much do you need? But you don't have black entrepreneurs coming at us like that because we know that ain't what it is. Let's just keep it a buck. We already know that that's not what it is. And Code Ref is right. Socialism and communism is all ultimately tribal. So why not just indulge in it and be tribal? But until black people in America somehow or another have access to capital that America don't control somehow, I'm not certain how we're supposed to do capitalism. I'm not saying I'm dead set against it, but I'm saying explain to me how we do it when we don't have control over the capital to begin with. We have lack of access to it. That's not to say we flat busted, but that is to say that we don't print the money. We don't own the land. We don't have hardly anything. Right? It's not saying we broke. I'm not one of these Negroes that say, oh, we too broke to do this. We too broke to do that. It's not true. There's much that we can do. But I don't see how we can do it under capitalism. We lost that fight a long motherfucking time ago. Matter of fact, even when we thought we was winning it, we wasn't really winning it. When we talk about Black Wall Streets and all that stuff, and saying that, black people was building their own businesses and we were worldwide and this, that, and the third. True. Until white folk got mad enough to come and burn it down. How was you winning then? We're going to have to adopt being a tribe, and we're going to have to do everything as a people. And it can't be about just uplifting no single individual motherfucker. I'm sorry, but your days of aspirations of driving a motherfucking Aston Martin and eating at Ruth's Chris every night is going to have to go out the motherfucking window. Black folk can't sustain that. Now, if you want to, run your risk with white folks, go right ahead. You rolls the dice and you takes your chances. But now if you want to be a part of a community, if you want to be a part of a self-sustaining community where the infrastructure is there to do whatever we need and you want to be a part of that, then come help us build that. We don't need no more black motherfuckers trying to skim what little capital we got off the top for their own self-aggrandizement. I can't in good conscience support that. That doesn't even make sense. Not if we're talking about collective uplift, because guess what? We don't have enough capital for every black person to be a capitalist. So let's say we all decided tomorrow we was going to buy black, bake black, shop black, all of that. Cool, I'm with it. We decide that as a collective tomorrow. Well, guess what? If I come up with a business idea, we don't have enough capital to support mine too. Right? Like at some point, you're going to saturate the market. You're going to run out of, we just not going to have enough capital to continue to sustain you. And then what are you going to do? It's simple as that. Right? So I say that if we gonna be tribal, then let's be tribal. And you could call it collectivism, communism, whatever the fuck you want to call it. I don't really care. We need to be taking from them everything and giving them nothing. Sorry, that's just how it's gotta be. That's right. Asians and Amish have domains of complete control. Black people do not. So why don't we? I mean, if you're talking about playing capitalism, you got to have something that you got a monopoly in. Black people don't have no monopoly in nothing. And no offense, fam, but for everybody who keeps telling us that we need to do capitalism, fam, capitalism started as an economic system in the West over 500 plus years ago, like 600 years ago. You don't think generations and generations of enslaved and their freed descendants haven't been sitting around trying to figure out ways for us to play capitalism? You don't think this is a conversation we done had 50,000 times and have gotten no fucking where? But we haven't had the conversation of just simply stop playing the capitalism game. That's a conversation we refuse to have. We refuse to have the conversation of communal living, of zero growth economy. We don't even want to hear that. No, if we're not talking about getting all black people to a point where we all driving Bentleys, wearing, platinum chains and shit, nobody wants to hear that. But I'm telling you, it just may be that that's the conversation we need to be having. How do we provide the services, infrastructure? How do we provide our needs without the need to be growing like the capitalist amoeba does? Fam, they are already running up against limits. Your beloved capitalists, all you black bootstrappers and entrepreneurs out there, I love you to death. But your white folks is running up against limits. They running up against pollution limits, peak oil, hyperinflation of economic systems, political corruption and degradation. They playing capitalism and they're already bumping up against the limits. So now, at basically what's going to constitute the end of capitalism, we all supposed to be eager to jump on board when the train's getting ready to go off the fucking cliff? With climate change and all this other shit? Man, capitalism is like the last motherfucking thing black people need to be talking about. It done ran its course like a fucking fever that done burnt the world up. We only have this one sphere, this one globe full of resources. We waste, squander, diminish, abuse, use it up. It is what it is. Not for long, Ron Hall. Not if we start developing alternative systems and infrastructures. That's a fact. All power, yeah, Code Ref, they did. Now that's no doubt. There is no doubt in my mind. I have not forgotten. But part of the reason why they destroyed our efforts at socialism is because we bought into white folks' socialism, right? We bought into the white ideas around socialism, that it was class structure. That was the problem. We ain't fools. We understand that no matter what economic structure we operate under, we still one big Negro. We're not fools. But that's not to say that our ancestors that got involved in socialism and communism was fools. But what this means is that they had an incomplete analysis. They bought into the hype that it was class. You got black leftists today that buy into the same bullshit. That if we just eliminate the plantation class, that everything's gonna all of a sudden be all right. Nah. in America, it's always, first and foremost, about race. That is the dividing line in the United States of America, is race. Period. We're not fools, Code Ref. We understand that they destroyed our efforts at communal operation and communal activity. But the fact is this. We understand better now. We know that it is race that's the dividing line. Can't no white socialists come to us talking about, oh, well, we need to go up against the plantation class, but they ain't put in on nothing. They ain't put up nothing towards going in on the plantation class. They're not talking about providing equity to the descendants of freedmen. You see what I'm saying? We passed a game now at this point, Code Ref. Right? These white leftists can't come to us talking about, yeah, it's just we need to, the working class need to unite. Nah, the white working class done stabbed black people in the back more than the plantation class has. You think I trust the white working class? Fuck them. They'll create socialism for them and they'll create degradation for us. Nah, I'm cool. I love the idea of communal effort and communalism for me and mine. No, it won't, Ron. How can it consume me when it's already eating us right now? You said a capitalist amoeba will consume you? Fam, I don't want to hear that shit. You already eating. I'm trying to climb out of their belly. It's as simple as that. Can't be eaten if you ain't in their mouth. We need to come about that shit. Exactly. We need infrastructure. We need what works for the people. Not for one. Not so that somebody could drive a nice ass car. Right? But we need to be able to provide our needs with systems, institutions, infrastructure that service us. And we need to do that without having to depend on their capital. Exactly, Code Ref. Tribalism encompasses it all. That's a more true statement than you'll ever imagine, especially for us. Now, one day when the whole world decides to be one people, black people can jump on board that train, right? One day when everybody else decides to be one human race, we can jump on that. Until then, I'm going to be just as tribal as they are. Shit, they go low, I go earthworm. They want to be tribal, I'm going to be super tribal. Good ass question, D-Wheel. I'd imagine much the same thing as if they didn't give it to us at all, which is why we still are able or still have the need to develop our own infrastructure in spite of the reparations. Everybody, see, this amazes me. Everybody talks about the need to not sit around and wait on Uncle Sam to do justice. I agree with them. And then I say, so we do that through communal activity. And they say, no, let's keep playing the same fucking capitalism game we've been playing. I'm confused. That don't make no damn sense. I agree with them. We can't sit around and wait for Sam to do justice. That's waiting on a train what never come. And I'm not being fatalist when I say that. I'm saying I'm going to fight for our due. I'm with that. I'm in it to win it. So I agree with you to not sit around and wait on these motherfuckers to do right, to do justice. But I say let's do communal activity where we take everything we can from everybody else while putting out nothing and start focusing on zero growth economy and communal action. And I'm told, nah, we just need more black businesses. What? That shit has not worked. It has not worked. Fam, I'm not gonna keep you out because this kind of got sidetracked. But I really, let me see. Code Ref said, if profit gets it, we do that. If bartering does it, we do that. If community doesn't, we do that. Whatever works for us at the moment. Yep, absolutely. The only thing I'm saying, Code Ref, is we've tried it. We've tried the profit motive. Black folk is some of the most profit-seeking motherfuckers on the planet. Even our love relationships is tainted by the profit motive. Oh, did I say that shit out loud? Yeah, even our family relationships is tainted by the profit motive. Black people, like I said, fam, we the only ones that believe in America. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Black folk is the only motherfuckers that actually believe in America. Everybody else do whatever the fuck they want to do. We the only ones that actually believe in the truth of America. It's real talk. We the most capitalist. We the most patriotic. We actually think the Constitution means something. Even though we just watched the motherfucking Senate refuse to motherfucking indict, to convict the president with clear evidence that this motherfucker fomented a goddamn insurrection. They don't give a fuck about the Constitution. They don't give a fuck about the law. But black people do. So I'm with you, Code Ref. I'm down to do whatever work. But we already tried the profit motive and it don't work. Let's do something else. Let's do communalism. Let's see what we got. Let's put together our labor, our hearts, our hands, what little resources we got, and let's see how many services that we can provide for each other. How much service we can provide to each other without having to depend on capitalist growth to do it. How about that? We tried the profit motive. All that did was get us a bunch of rich Negroes who did, when they got there, act like they didn't know who the fuck we was. Now I'm cool. I can't support that in good conscience no more. Not when I know there's alternatives. All right, fam. Hey, I want to say I love y'all. Thank y'all so much for listening to a brother expound a little bit on entertainment. Hopefully, I gave you something today that you can use. Remember, fam, just as a synopsis, art, aesthetic is about beauty, and beauty leads us to truth, right? Entertainment allows us to deduce and intuit concepts, abstractions, you dig, that we don't have ways to measure but still are able to understand. But most importantly, entertainment, enjoyment, is about the renewal, the refreshing, the rebooting of our humanity. It's our breathing space. It's our time to exhale and to get back on our square. And we have just as much right, if not more, right to entertainment, proper entertainment, than anybody else in America. You feel me? So, fam, with that said, I'm going to go ahead and drop off. I will be back next week where we're going to talk about, I believe that one is the education video. So be expected. Oh, that one's going to be fun. But you better bring your thinking cap, because we're going to talk about education next week. I'm going to distill it all out and give you some ideas, some stuff that we can use, some things that we can actually do around education. And fam, until then, as always, I want to wish you all love, peace, prosperity, and power. Real power to our people.